All right, hello students. We're going to go over another lesson of dealing with triangles. Find the area of all triangles using base and height. Like I said, it doesn't matter what type of triangle it is. We can always use the base and the height of the triangle that's represented by the 90-degree angle. So let's go ahead and look at what's going on here. It says, draw and label the altitude. Here's kind of a fancy word here, an altitude of each triangle below. Well, the altitude really is known as the height. It means the same exact thing. There really is no difference. The altitude is just simply a fancy word for saying height. All right, so here we go. So let's go. All we got to do is draw the height in for these rectangles. Remember, the height goes from kind of the very top peak here, and it goes straight down to the base, and that represents the 90-degree angle. So this right here would be the altitude or the height. I'm going to label it A for altitude because remember the 90-degree angle represents or connects the height or the altitude, and this of course would be the base. So we might as well just go and label both of them. So right here, this is a right angle, so it already gives us the 90-degree angle right here. So this part right here would be the altitude or the height, and this one right here would be the base. And the last one here, well, remember the very peak here is the top of the triangle, so we need to go straight down. Remember, we can't go at a diagonal to get to the base. We need to go straight down and create the 90-degree angle. Well, as you can see, the base is way over here, so we have to kind of expand it out. And remember, this is the altitude right here, this line. And remember, only this part right here that actually makes up the shape is the base, not the extended part we needed to kind of show us or give us the right angle, just the actual part right here that makes it the base. This is the altitude because it is a straight line from the base down here straight up to the top or the peak. All right, so that's kind of dealing with the altitude, which is also known as the height of each of the triangle. All right, so let's go over kind of another exercise that shows that it doesn't matter what the triangle looks like. It doesn't matter if it's not a right angle. It is always, or the area of the triangle can always be found by using the 1/2 times base times height. So here we go. It says use rectangle X. So I have this here. You can draw this in. If you need to, you can draw it over here. And the triangle with the altitude inside triangle X. So these are the exact same thing. They have the same bases down here, and they have the same height or the same altitude. So what we do is we label this. This has a base of B, and this one has the same base, so we label that B as well. This right here has the height from here to here. Remember, this is the height or the altitude. This height or altitude is inside of it. So let's go ahead and draw that in, and it's represented by the same height as the rectangle. So this would be H, or the A for altitude. Either way would be fine. All right, so step 1 says find the area of the rectangle. Well, remember the area of the rectangle is just simply base times height. So let's go ahead and just simply go area equals base times height. And here, the measurements of these, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to give you some measurements. The base is 4, and the height right here is going to be 6. So for the area of the rectangle, if I have the base of 4, so B is equal to 4. The height is 6. It would be equal to 24. And of course, I don't have units, so I'm going to go ahead and write in the U squared. Remember, because we're finding the area, we have to have this U squared involved. Well, now step 2 is what is half the area of the rectangle? Well, if I'm finding half of this, that means I'm finding the area of the triangle. Because remember, base times height is the area of the rectangle. When I multiply it by half, now I get the area of the triangle. So if I cut this in half, remember that multiplying by half, or we can even divide by 2 would work. I'm going to go ahead and just simply put multiplied by 1/2. What is half of 24? Half of 24 is 12. And of course, I don't know what that is. It doesn't have units, so let's go ahead and put unit squared. So right here, this would be the area of the triangle here. Remember, it's still half the area of the rectangle. That's right here. I'm going to just put 24 units over here. to kind of show. All right, so once again, so it doesn't matter what the triangle looks like. It doesn't have to be a right triangle. It could be any type of triangle. It doesn't have to be a right triangle like this. It can be any type of triangle. We're always going to use this formula, 1/2 base times height. We just need to know the entire base. And this is the key part, is we must go from one side all the way over to the other side. All right, so go ahead and stop the video. We're going to do a couple problems, just kind of review the area of a triangle, and then you'll get started on your assignment.